Genau wie die legendären 49ers der 80er und frühen 90er Jahre, denen dieses Kunststück gleich mehrmals gelang. Doch um dieses Ziel zu erreichen, muss San Francisco heute erst einmal die Green Bay Packers aus dem Weg räumen. Genau wie vor 3 Jahren, als Terrell Owens mit einem Fabelfang das damalige Wildcard-Spiel in letzter Sekunde entschied.
Young almost falls down, throws to the end zone. Owens! He caught it! 25 Yards! Touchdown!
Wildcard-Wochenende Teil 2. Gestern ja schon zweimal Heimsiege, die Oakland Raiders gegen die Jets und zuvor die Philadelphia Eagles, die sich gegen Tampa Bay durchgesetzt haben. Und wenn alle Vorhersagen stimmen, dann wird es auch heute einen Heimsieg geben. Und damit hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Knüller, kann man durchaus sagen, dieser Wildcard-Runde. Die Green Bay Packers gegen die San Francisco 49ers. 2 Mannschaften mit großen Namen, natürlich auch mit großen Erfolgen. 3 bzw. 5 Super Bowl-Titel, allein unzählige Playoff-Teilnahmen. Unter anderem 4-mal hintereinander standen sich diese beiden Mannschaften gegenüber. Von 95 bis 98, 3-mal hieß der Sieger Green Bay, einmal, Sie haben es gerade noch gesehen, San Francisco. Dann 2 Jahre Pause für beide Mannschaften, also die vergangenen beiden Spielzeiten gab es keine Playoff-Teilnahme. Und heute sind sie beide wieder zurück, San Francisco und Green Bay, und treffen dann in der ersten Runde ausgerechnet aufeinander. Ein ganz, ganz heißes Spiel, das wir hier erwarten dürfen. Und natürlich die Vorhersage. Und darauf spielen die Eingangsworte an. San Francisco steht vor der schwierigen Aufgabe, als erstes Team überhaupt Green Bay in einem Heimspiel zu schlagen. Die Packers haben hier im Lambeau Field 10-mal gespielt in den Playoffs, 10-mal gewonnen, 2-mal in Milwaukee. Auch die Spiele haben sie gewonnen. Also von 12 Playoff-Heimspielen haben die Packers kein einziges verloren. Und dann ist da natürlich auch noch Brett Favre, der Über-Quarterback, vor allem wenn es um die Playoffs geht und wenn es zu Hause geht. Temperatur etwas über dem Gefrierpunkt, aber je kälter es wird, umso besser, hat man den Eindruck, wird Brett Favre. Von 30 Heimspielen, die bei 0 Grad oder noch kälteren Bedingungen ausgeführt wurden, hat er kein einziges verloren. Also es spricht eigentlich alles gegen San Francisco, aber genau das hat Coach Steve Mariucci auch seinen Jungs mit auf den Weg gegeben. Wir haben nichts zu verlieren, also schauen wir doch ein bisschen, dass wir Geschichte schreiben können, dass wir das erste Team werden, das hier in Green Bay gewinnt, das die Packers zu Hause schlägt. Das wäre natürlich was und würde zu dieser Saison passen, in denen die San Francisco 49ers von vielen sowieso nicht einmal in die Playoffs gesehen wurden. Die Vorhersagen für San Francisco, alles andere als gut. 2-3 Jahre brauchen die mindestens noch. Die haben eine zu schwache, zu junge Defense. Der Quarterback ist ganz okay, Jeff Garcia, aber der hat ja nur in Kanada groß gespielt. Das alles kann nicht reichen. Und jetzt stehen sie hier im Wildcard-Spiel. Nur die Niederlage, die unglückliche gegen Dallas, da ärgern sie sich heute noch am 16. Spieltag, verhindert, dass diese Spiele der gleichen Ansetzung, aber eben in San Francisco stattfindet. Brett Favre wird freuen. Er kann also jetzt zu Hause spielen. Die Voraussetzungen für ein großes Spiel sind gegeben. 2 Mannschaften, die Punkte erzielen können, wie sie wollen, und ich denke schon, dass es ähnlich
Let's go back up to you for the kickoff.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. Ryan Longwell will kick off in the direction of Vinny Sutherland for the 49ers, who won the toss. Vinny Sutherland looking into a severe sun, and that could be a factor. Good kick by Longwell. Sutherland with speed and out of bounds outside the 30. Let's look at the 49er offense. Deese, Brown, Newberry, Fiore, and Gregg. Those are the guys up front. 2 of them headed for the Pro Bowl. Owens, Hurst, Beasley, Johnson, and Stokes are those who will handle the ball. They're led by the gritty Jeff Garcia. He doesn't look like he could get it done, but he can.
And he can make all the throws, too. You know, as you say, he doesn't look like he can get it done. It doesn't look like he can make all the throws because he doesn't have a strong arm, but he does make all the throws.
Garcia drops on first down. Hustles out, taken down by Gilbert Brown. Back after 4 weeks with a bad toe. Here's the front 4 for the Packers. Holiday, Dotson, Brown, and Hunt. The linebackers, Nate Wayne, Niall Diggs on the outside, and Bernardo Harris in the middle, William Sharper, Jenkins, and McKenzie.
One of the things that the Packers were talking about is getting a push up here and not letting Jeff Garcia scramble up the middle. Most quarterbacks scramble right and left. Garcia makes a lot of big plays scrambling straight up the middle, but he ran straight into Gilbert Brown.
Second 14. That's Garrison Hurst hit in the backfield by Hunt.
I'll tell you, Cledius Hunt was the left defensive end or the power end there, and he got pressure. And anytime that you get pressure and or penetration, you see, he gets in that position right there, there's no chance to run to that side. The rookie Eric Johnson was trying to block him, but you have to get your head in front of him. Cledius Hunt ran right through Eric Johnson's block.
Third and 19. So far, the defense of the Packers off to a wonderful start. Three wide receiver setup. Garcia gives. That's Garrison Hurst. He'll get some of it back, but not nearly enough for a first down. They'll have to punt.
That was a good start for that Packer defense.
Was it ever?
You know, a couple of things they worried about is that first down pass. Garcia scrambling up the middle. They stopped that. They stopped the power off tackle, and so some of the things that the 49ers wanted to start doing in this game, the Packers took away right away.
Allen Rossum is back deep for the first time in a long time for the Packers. He's been out with injury.
He had knee surgery. He had his knee scope.
Jason Baker, the punter, this one hangs, and Rossum comes up and lets it bounce. Takes a 49er bounce. Let's have a glance at the Green Bay offensive line. Clifton, Wall, Flanagan, Rivera, and Mark Tauscher. A good, solid offensive line. Backs and receivers, Schrader, Green, Henderson, Bubba Franks, and Antonio Freeman. Led by, well, he's unmatched, the fabulous Brett Favre. That's Garcia that they're attending to on the 49er bench. Favre gives to Amon Green. Good yardage. We're working on Garcia. We don't know what happened yet.
Well, you know, he was only sacked at one time,
Yes.
where he started to scramble up the middle, and big Gilbert Brown got him. That was the only play that he's had any contact so far.
That's a lot of contact. Second and 1. Franks comes in motion. Far from the spread, lost it. Schrader dropped it, had it, dropped it, looking back into the sun. No excuse.
So we don't know what happened to Jeff Garcia, but as I said, this is the one contact that he had. And you can see Gilbert Brown's face mask is right in the face of Jeff Garcia.
That's a big load.
Right, and yeah, I mean, that head just coming down on that with that face mask put a lot of pressure on him, and that was the area that they were checking on Jeff Garcia.
Gilbert Brown's down to about 343, they say. Green. Don't know if he got it or not. Let's go down to Ron.
Well, guys, a few minutes ago, Jeff Garcia got a hit there by Gilbert Brown. He got a cut on his chin. Now, the medical staff for the 49ers are patching him up right now. A few minutes ago, Steve Mariucci came over to check him out. He looks like he's okay. It looks like he'll be going back in the game, but they are taking care of that cut. Pat?
All right, Ryan, thank you.
You know, one of the interesting things in that first series of down by the 49ers, Bryant Young, their Pro Bowl defensive tackle, was playing left defensive end. I think that's the first time that I remember him ever being an end other than in a three-man line.
Sutherland gets away from it, takes a Green Bay bounce, and rolls down to about the 11-yard line. They're fanning it, trying to get it to the 10. Donald Driver finally picks it up. So the 49ers will start from their deep in their own territory. 4 49ers and the 12-4 Green Bay Packers.
You know, that sack that Gilbert Brown got on Jeff Garcia was Gilbert Brown's first sack since 1997.
Garcia back to throw. Throws up the middle to his tight end, Eric Johnson.
This is one of the formations that the 49ers were just in that Steve Mariucci really thinks is going to give him something today. Is when they go 3 wide receivers and the Green Bay Packers keep to their base defense. I think it's going to give them a little running, but it's going to be real good passing. And that's just what they did on that last play. And here we see it again. 2 wide receivers here, 1 wide receiver here against base defense.
2nd and 1. Hurst hit in the backfield. Loss of yard. Vonnie Holiday closed in a hurry.
Hey, one thing that they're doing is controlling the line of scrimmage. You can see Gilbert Brown in there is so big, and he was so quick on that. He just takes on those blocks, just hold it, and then lets that ball carrier come to him, and then just boom, just pulls him off. Fred Beasley, we see there, number 40 is the fullback, playing with a broken hand, 2 pins in it, and a cast on his hand. The only thing he's going to be able to do is block. There's no way that he can run or catch the ball.
Well, that's about all he does anyway.
Block linebackers.
He does it well. He does it well. That was Hurst trying to get the first down.
And that's what Fred Beasley, as you was telling us yesterday, that he'd like to get about 25 snaps out of Fred Beasley, and they're all going to be in blocking situations. I would expect this would be a pass in this situation.
Garcia, good protection, fires to his tight end again, Eric Johnson. Steve Mariucci, speaking of him, really has fun things to say about his rookie tight end. He thinks he's really going to be a player.
Well, you know, he lost Greg Clark, his regular tight end, and Eric Johnson was came out of Yale, and they were kind of happy when he just made the team, and then lo and behold, he had to become a starter, and then as he became a starter, he became a pretty good player, and Steve thinks that over the years he's going to be a great tight end, not just a good tight end. But he says he has to thicken up a little.
2nd and 2. He already has done some of that.
Some thickening up.
Going deep. Garcia to Stokes. Good coverage by McKenzie. Man-to-man.
Yep, and when they get man-to-man, instead of looking for Stokes, the guy that they really want to find is Terrell Owens, because he's the guy that eats up man-to-man coverage. And if you're going to throw the deep one and get the deep one, somewhere in this game, there has to be 3 or 4 of them to Terrell Owens.
3rd and 2.
Terrell Owens is lined up right here now.
3rd and 2. Garcia pulls it back, takes off with it, throws it. Packers wave it off, it's incomplete.
The Packers played that real well because they know that Garcia is the scrambler, and he's either going to scramble up the middle or to his right. So if he's going to scramble here, you better keep them contained to this side. And you see the containment? They just stay out there with him. And when he starts to scramble, you have to plaster on. That time, Darren Sharp with a defensive back plastered on Terrell Owens in the scramble drill.
Jason Baker back to punt for San Francisco. Allen Rossum deep. Rossum will have a chance with this one. And he's dangerous. Rossum. Pass Baker, the ball popped out of his arms. He was just about to turn it upfield. And he had a clear sail down the sidelines if he held on to the ball.
I don't know if the ball popped out or if Jason Baker knocked it out.
Maybe.
Because Rossum, this is big for the Green Bay Packers, getting Allen Rossum back, because as you said, on any play he can take it all the way. A couple of missed tackles here. Allen Rossum made a miss. I don't think Baker did knock it out. It looked like he was just trying to switch it. He's just running. Yeah, he's running, he's pumping his arm. And as he's pumping his arm, the ball just popped out.
Nevertheless, the Packers have good field position there at the San Francisco 40. Favre fakes and hands to Dorsey Levin.
Okay.
Here's the 49er defense. We get time to show you a few things. Carter, Stubblefield, McGrew, and Bryant Young going to the Pro Bowl as a tackle is playing left defensive end. Ulbrich, Derek Smith in the middle, and Julian Peterson, the linebackers. Webster, Bronson, Schulters, and Plummer, the secondary.
Here's Bryant Young right here. You used to see him in the middle. Today as a defensive end.
Favre drops it out to Henderson. Across the 35, about the 34.
We were talking to Tom Rosley the other day, the offensive coordinator. He was saying that he likes to get Brett Favre off to a good start, get him in the game. There's Bryant Young taking it inside. Now, anytime Brett Favre sees the defensive end or the outside man who has containment take the inside, he is going to get to the outside.
Packers have 4 wide receivers in the game now. Donald Driver and Corey Bradford. Levens in the backfield, and he checks out. There's the blitz coming. Favre hits Schrader. Packer first down.
And Brett Favre is so good in that shotgun. You know, he just gets back here. He's only about 3 yards from the center, but he loves this thing where you have all your receivers out. He said you just spread them out. He had 5 receivers out there, 2 on the left side, 3 on the right side, and he picked the right side and Bill Schrader. He said he would rather do that than just send out a couple of guys or have them stay in and block. Spread them all out. Steve Young used to say the same thing.
This is sort of a sawed-off shotgun.
Well, because he's so short.
Amon Green barrels down across the 15.
You know, you were just looking at that graphic and you saw that Brett Favre threw for more yards from the shotgun than did regular. But see, by him being up here tight, he can still hand off. You see, he's in front of the running back. And I think that's a big thing, or maybe the big difference between the Packers shotgun and a lot of other teams' shotgun is that you still have to play any run from any place when they get in the shotgun. And you have Amon Green back there, and he's pretty good, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Because he can do it all. I mean, he can run with speed, and then when you come to tackle him, he explodes.
And he's a good receiver.
Yeah, he was the leading receiver on the team.
First and 10, Green Bay, just inside the 15 of San Francisco. Again, the sawed-off shotgun. Favre to Green to the 5.
You know, both of these teams have a rule when they get in the red zone is they go touchdown, check down is what they call it. You look for the end zone to throw the touchdown. If you don't have it, you come right back to your check down. That's what Brett Favre did there. There's touchdown. There was nothing there in the end zone, so his check down was Amon Green. He throws a lot of check downs to Amon Green because he can do something with it after he catches the ball.
Well, he can throw the ball about as hard as anybody ever has, but he can also throw it with that deft touch as he did just then.
That's what he's learned recently.
Hit behind the line
by Bryant Young. Bryant Young gave him a play. They can't be expecting Bryant Young, and you see him here, and he's just going to take on Mark Tauscher there. They just go helmet to helmet. Tauscher comes off on the linebacker. Bryant Young just continues to the inside, and he puts a perfect tackle on Amon Green.
Bryant Young's one of those guys you better not come off.
No, he's a heck of a player. The Green Bay Packers, in no way did they expect Bryant Young to be playing left defensive end today.
5 wideouts. Freeman, touchdown.
That's it, red zone, the touchdown, the check down. Before we saw the check down, here we see the touchdown right there. 3 guys on that side. They run 3 slants. Brett Favre picks out the one he likes. The one he likes is Antonio Freeman, who catches the ball right in front of Zach Bronson.
Ryan Longwell for the extra point. Which is blocked.
That's it, it's dead.
That's dead. Crucial it could be. Remember that, file that away. Because when you miss an extra point, inevitably, it comes back to haunt you.
Here and block that extra point. See him, he gets the first, he gets Chad Clifton turned right there. And when Clifton turns, he gets his left hand up. Watch him to push. See number 76 get turned, and that gives Dana Stubblefield that gap. He gets the gap, puts his left hand up, and blocks the extra point.
Plus that kick was a little low.
That was low, yeah.
Longwell's kicked off. Sutherland shielding his eyes, takes the bounce. Oh, almost a face mask.
Oh, I think there has to be a face mask, yeah. That was a later call, but that was a face mask.
With that touchdown pass, Brett Favre to Antonio Freeman. Favre is now second on the list of most consecutive postseason games with a touchdown pass. Dan Marino's number 1. Brett Favre is number 2.
Grabbing and pulling on the face mask, number 29 of the kicking team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
See the grabbing and pulling. See, if it's just grabbing and getting off, that's a 5-yard penalty. Grabbing and pulling is a 15-yard.
There was a little dusting of snow yesterday, but today almost tropical in Green Bay. Game time 28 degrees and very little breeze.
Did you ever think in your life you would be calling 28 degrees tropical?
No. But Green Bay, that was Kevin Barlow, Gilbert Brown.
Well, and it all starts with Gilbert Brown. You know, we were saying how the Packer defense has really been susceptible the last 4 games. Gilbert Brown hasn't been playing. Now they get Gilbert Brown back, and he's going to take care of this area here. And all inside running starts here. You have to get that guy blocked. And I don't think that you try and cut Gilbert Brown. I think that you try and seal him off, stay with him, and run away from him.
2nd and 10. This is Barlow again. And he doesn't get much again. Let's go down to Ron Pitts.
Well, Pat, this time of year in Lambeau, if the weather doesn't get you, the cold and ice, the sun may. This time of the year, that sun will set just above the top of the stadium, and you saw Vinny Sutherland a few minutes ago lose that ball. That can happen. Special teams coaches are telling their players to be careful of the sun, shield your eyes, and try to make a safe catch if you can. Pat?
All right, Ron, thank you. Ron Pitts played here, of course, and so did his father.
I think the 49ers have to start getting the ball to their wide receivers. They haven't completed one to a wide receiver yet.
They got 3 of them left. That's Owen. Billy Jenkins in a hurry.
Well, what happened is he had a blitz, and Tyrone Williams, the corner, was coming on a blitz. So then you have the hot read, and the hot read is Owen, so he has to get rid of the ball. Watch, he's going to get the blitz here. You see right here, the corner comes on that side, so that's his hot read. Then it goes to Owen, and then they make the tackle, and it's 4th down. Yeah, he was a pretty good player. Yeah. He was a starting strong safety for the Rams when they went to the Super Bowl.
Rossum watches it bounce, and it's down at about the 18. A minute 46 left in the first, and it's 6-0 Green Bay over the 49ers. Playoff time, wild card weekend. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles and the Oakland Raiders on victories yesterday. 6-0 here at Lambeau. The Packers leading on green.
I think the Packers have probably figured, Pat, now that Bryant Young is in there at that left end, they start to run the other way. I would, because Bryant Young is so quick getting off the ball, and you just watch down the line, the ball snap, and he's the first white jersey across the line of scrimmage.
He's moved back inside now. Troy Wilson has moved to the outside position. The 49ers just signed him last week.
Yeah, they just signed him the other day.
Second down.
Green 18! Green 18!
couldn't get it there. It's picked off by the 49ers. Ahmad Plummer.
And we saw Brian Young, we saw him play outside, and now we see him play inside. And again, on the rush, they're going to double team him every time. They know that he's to the inside. You know that Brett Favre is going to roll to the right. So you contain him from the outside and push him like Brian Young did from the inside. Brett Favre was trying to throw to Tyrone Davis right here, but Ahmed Plummer, the left corner of the 49ers, makes a great play. If you watch it, we'll just stop it right here. Here's Plummer. He was up there in his own. He has deep outside here. He starts back and gets the jump on the ball. Brett Favre just throws it up there, and Ahmed Plummer gains about 10 yards while the ball's in the air.
49ers over the ball. Garcia changing the play on 1st and 10. Garcia drops. Here comes the heat. Look out. Garcia got rid of it to his tight end, Eric Johnson.
I think that's the thing that Steve Mariucci feels so good about Eric Johnson, and Jeff Garcia probably feels good about Eric Johnson, is that he knows how to find a hole in the zone. You know, and once Jeff Garcia starts to scramble again, it'll usually be up the middle or to the right. And if you're on that side, you have to give him something to throw to. And that's what Eric Johnson did. Look at that interception of Brett Favre was his first interception in his last 115 throws.
Garcia back to throw it again. Whips it outside. Vinny Sutherland, who is the 4th wide receiver on the roster today for the 49ers. That's the end of the first quarter with the score of the Packers 6, the 49ers nothing. This Fox NFL Wild Card special from Green Bay will continue after these messages. Green Bay, the home of the Packers, who lead 6-0.
That's Ahmed Plummer, who just made that big interception. We see there's one turnover, and that was the one turnover that Ahmed Plummer got on that Brett Favre throw. Look at the rushing, 9 and 23. Not a lot of passing, 29 and 29. Total yards, the first quarter's kind of been dominated by both defenses a little, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. First down, San Francisco at the Green Bay 31. That's Hurst for perhaps 2.
You know, Garrison Hurst is an amazing story. That he hurts his ankle a couple years ago. He's out of football for 2 years. Has 5 surgeries on his ankle. Comes back. The fact that he could come back and even make the team at the beginning was a big story. And then look what he's done. He's been the NFL comeback player, 2nd Pro Bowl selection, and over 1,500 yards. And so he went from being a good story and boy, he made the team again to being a dominant player.
Garcia gets Owens inside the 15.
And that's what you have to do. And I think as the 49ers get in that red zone, this is a guy that they think about. Terrell Owens, because he's so big and so strong, and then he knows how to use his body. I mean, he does that basketball thing where he's always going to get his body between the ball and the defender. And it's ball, me, defender. And you look at Jeff Garcia's eyes, he was looking all the way for Terrell Owens, wasn't he? He says he'll usually do that.
First down. Hurst, nothing.
I'll tell you, that time Jim Flanagan was in there, number 75. You know, you used to see when you see that type of play, you expected Gilbert Brown to be in there. Jim Flanagan is a backup nose tag. You see, he's controlled that line of scrimmage. He's controlled that hole right there. Garrison Hurst goes to the cutback, and he cuts right back into Flanagan's shoulder. That guy that plays the nose has to control the center, and the guards block.
Now it's Brown.
Now the 49ers are going to pass him.
Garcia Owens to about the 6.
That's that rule that they have. You know, we were talking about how these teams are a heck of a lot alike.
Yes, they are.
And you know how you talk about touchdown, check down. It's the same thing here. And you watch Jeff Garcia and his eyes. He's looking for one guy when he gets down here, and that was Terrell Owens on those last two.
That's a wise choice.
He eyeballed him all the way, didn't he?
3rd and 4.
If you're going to eyeball a guy, though, that's a rule. Eyeball number 81.
Garcia with a blitz coming off the corner. Surprise. And down he goes, Darren Sharper. Nobody blocked him.
And Donatel, the defensive coordinator, making a heck of a call there, because you know that when you're going to do that you're going to be. Here's Darren Sharper here. You're going to be in man-to-man coverage. Darren Sharper shows it. He's right up there. And, of course, that's that hot read again. But Darren Sharper was coming from the side that Garcia was going to, so he was right in his face. There was no way Jeff Garcia could get that ball off.
Cortez from 34 yards away. Block. Rolls into the end zone, and the Packers come away with that 6-0 lead. The 49ers get nothing.
That's what Steve Mariucci worried about Cortez. He said he hits too many 3-irons. I think right here he hit a 3-iron. That ball never did get up in the air, and it was Cledius Hunt who blocked it. I circled him. I'll do it once in my life, but I won't do it again to him.
Well, I got you a sign.
Yeah, but I won't do it again.
Favre gets to on Green, and there's nothing there. He might have gotten a couple.
Yeah, we look at that block. Now watch, Bernardo Harris is going to push Flanagan, and then Sharper is going to come up and push Cledius Hunt. Watch him, see him here? He pushes him, and that's how they get that penetration. Then Cledius Hunt gets up and gets the ball. So you have 2 guys in the gaps, then 2 guys behind him that are pushing.
Bryant Young is back at defensive end.
I think Bryant Young is going to be playing this position for the 49ers most of the day.
I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't last until next year, in future years.
Well,
Ball start, 58 offense. That's a 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Mike Flanagan. Be sure to tune in to the E-Trade Super Bowl 36 halftime show as one of the world's hottest bands, U2, performs live coming February 3rd on Fox. That'll be here before you know it.
Won't be long.
We'll be there. Fox will be there.
Screen, good.
Screen pass set up nicely. Amon Green doesn't get much out of it as the 49ers, Rashad Holman, played it very well.
And the other guy that played it very well was Bryant Young. As you said, he goes from inside to outside. Here he is in the middle. Now on a screen, a tackle is taught, you start your pass rush, you start going up, then you read screen, then you come straight down the line to the point where the runner's going. That's exactly what Bryant Young did. Because tackles all over the league are playing the screens, and sometimes they're playing the screens better than the offenses are running the screen.
3rd and 10. Favre from the spread formation gets it out of there to Dorsey Levens. And Levens very nearly got a 1st down if he didn't.
Yeah, we were looking at the film last year when these 2 teams played against each other in October. Dorsey Levens was the starting back then. Amon Green became the starter later, and of course Amon Green was the starter all this year. And one of the things that Mike Sherman is trying to figure out a way, how do you get them both the ball? How do you get them both in the game? Because Dorsey Levens, is a breakaway guy, and now he's returning kickoffs, and he's a guy, if you're going to throw the ball, Dorsey Levens is a guy you like in there too.
Well, he's had a tough time healing and getting himself 100%. Amon Green this time surges out over the 40.
You see Amon Green surge out so much, and that's because he's so powerful that his feet never stop. His legs are always driving, And when he gets to a point of contact, he always ggets lower. Now watch the surge right there. You see right there, I mean, that surge picked up about 5 yards. I mean, he looked like he was stopped, then 5 yards later, he's finally down.
2nd and 3. Packers just outside their own 40. Fakes to Green, gives to Green. Nothing there.
Well, Troy Wilson didn't play that one bad. We're talking about who's playing left defensive end. We know that T.K. O'Keefer and Engelberger are out. Here comes a guy, he played for the 49ers a couple years ago, been out of football all year. He comes down in and plays a run pretty well.
Very well.
Yep, holds that hole.
Holds off Earl Dotson.
Yep, stops the point. Dotson, of course, is playing right tackle now. He alternates. What they do is they take their right guard, Marco Rivera, or move Mark Tauscher, their right tackle, the right guard, and then Earl Dotson, who used to be their starter, plays right tackle.
Green trying for the first. I don't think he got it.
That's good defense. They lost the battle over there on that left side. Again, when you see more green shirts on the side of the line of scrimmage, more white shirts on this side of the line of scrimmage, when you see that, it's not going to be a successful run. And you see one right there and one right there and one right there. And there's no way you're going to get the first down when there's that many white shirts on your side of the line of scrimmage.
Benny Sutherland back for the 49ers, number 25. Josh Bidwell to punt, and it's a dandy. Bounces backwards, down by the Packers. Green Bay is saying it should be their ball, but that's not correct. 7:06 left on that last punt by the Packers.
Well, what
Mike
Sherman is saying is the ball hit Vinny Sutherland's foot.
Green Bay has challenged the ruling on the field. They feel that the ball did hit the receiver.
Well, that's what we were talking about. Bernie Kukar, by the way, is the referee, and here it is.
Now watch. Here's Sutherland, and you always have the rule, if you're not going to return it, get away from it. Now, if that ball hit Vinny Sutherland, then the Packers can recover it, and it would be the Packers' ball right there.
From that angle, it looks as if it did hit his foot.
And when Sutherland came over, Steve Mariucci was really chewing him out because, like I said, you always have that rule that if you're the punt returner, you either catch it and run it, you fair catch it, and if you're going to let it go, you get away from it.
Get as far away quickly.
Vinny Sutherland didn't get away from it. You see, now right now, when he knew he wasn't going to catch it, he should have got the heck out of there. Now here's Vinny Sutherland right there. Did it hit his foot? It didn't look like, on that shot there, it didn't look like it hit his foot.
From that angle, it looked like it didn't hit him.
And he's telling George Stewart there, one of the coaches, he's telling him that it didn't hit his foot. Because, you know, you never know how that thing's going to bounce.
That's very true.
No, that didn't hit his foot.
It's funny, from that other angle we had, it did look like it hit him.
Steve Mariucci, as he walks by, is telling it better not have hit your foot. Those guys will drive you crazy. Those guys that don't get away from the ball. On the punt return team, if you're not going to return it, it's not only the punt returner that has to get away from it.
Everybody.
It's everybody that has to get away from it. Bernie Kukar, the referee, and in these playoffs, Pat, they have all-star crews. In other words, the officiating crews work with one crew all year. And then when they get to the playoffs, they become all-star crews, and they're crews that never worked together but had the better grades.
After reviewing the play stands as called. The ball did not hit the receiver. Charge timeout, Green Bay.
Didn't get a friendly reception from the crowd, but never expected it to.
Well, it got a friendly reception from Steve Mariucci. And of course, Green Bay not only loses a timeout, but they lose one of their challenges, and you only have 2 challenges per game.
Cost him a timeout. 1st and 10, San Francisco. Garrison Hurst cuts it back. Billy Lyon made the stop. Bernie Kukar is the referee. It's an all-star cast. In other words, these guys haven't been working together over the regular season. They picked them because they did the best job in their opinion.
And I'll tell you one thing about him is there's 4 wild card games this weekend, and the Super Bowl crew is going to come out from guys that have officiated these wild card games.
So what you're saying is they can't do 2 games. They can't do this one,
the wild card and the Super Bowl.
Pass complete to J.J. Stokes, enough for a San Francisco first down.
You see, the 49ers like this, where they get both receivers in the same side of the field and run option type things and little short hitches, and that's what J.J. Stokes does. And then somewhere you have to go deep in order to make that more effective. Look at that, under 10 yards, 8 passes, over 10 yards. Jeff Garcia has only thrown 2 in this first half.
Garcia back to throw it. Gets Barlow, and Barlow gets half yard, maybe, no more. Clock running at 5:35 left in the first half.
And you know they're playing that check down. I mean, this Green Bay defense is playing the check down better than the 49er defense is playing the check down. In fact, they have the backs of the 49ers pretty well corralled, whether it's Barlow in that case or Garrison Hurst. They're not giving them much room to either catch a pass, run a screen, or run the ball.
Beasley checks back in. Barlow gets the carry. And he gets another half yard.
Boy, and there is nothing there. I mean, the Green Bay defensive line, that's where it starts. You know, you stop the run and it starts with the defensive line just watching down the line of scrimmage. The Green Bay Packers control that line of scrimmage. Just watch it right down here. I mean, Cledius Hunt is up here, and look what he does. And you see their hole. I mean, the linebackers are there. The nose tackle Flanagan has his. Cledius Hunt gets penetration, holds that point. There was no place to run.
3 wide receivers. Shotgun for Garcia. Pass caught. That's by Ty Streets, and that's close to a first.
Depends on where he's going to get the spot on this one.
Yep.
You see it right down here in front of us. It's a left foot. That's going to be very, very close.
Yes.
They're going to have to measure this one.
From our angle, it looks like he has it.
Jeff Garcia is starting to get some things going. Not a lot of deep things, but that made him 8 straight completions. Mr. Ty Streets on a cross. So the 49ers run crossing patterns as much and as well as anyone. And they started that years ago with Jerry Rice.
Have, yeah.
Talking about Jerry Rice, didn't he have a great game last night for the Raiders? Congratulations to the Raiders and to the Philadelphia Eagles for continuing on in the playoffs.
Well, you say about Jerry Rice, to be old again.
Well, he's what, 39 and plays like he's 25, but I'll tell you, I mean, I've always said this and felt this, that big players come up big in big games. And Jerry Rice has always been a big-time player.
Every year, no matter where he was. San Francisco, now Oakland. Blitz coming. Garcia retreats and throws it away. Now they're going to say intentional grounding.
Yeah, I think so, because you said he threw it away. Now, had he scrambled out and got outside that tackle box, he could throw it away.
Bernardo Harris looking at him in the eyes.
And here's Bernardo Harris coming straight up on him. Jeff Garcia throwing the ball. There was no one there. They didn't call anything.
No, I know it.
I mean, he did throw it away to avoid the rush. Look, he had a little straight arm there and everything. Evan Barlow was the guy that he was trying to throw to, and he fell down.
2nd and 10. That's Barlow. Not only do we have the Super Bowl in February, NASCAR returns to Fox in February. And sometimes, John Madden sings when he sees those cars run across the screen.
Well, what old DW does. Jeff Garcia's been sacked twice, hit 3 times, hurried 6 times. Packers are bringing heat on Garcia because they can't get any running game going.
They need 3. They got 3. Streets on the slant.
Well, he can throw that slant, can't he? I mean, that was pretty. Jeff Garcia doesn't do a lot of pretty things, but this was a pretty one. Here's Ty Streets out here. He's going to come up, run that slant right there. Garcia just came back and hit him right in stride. What's that? I mean, he just put that zip on there, threw a perfect spiral, hit him right between the 8 and the 9. Nothing had a break.
They're at the Packer 45 now. 1st and 10. Winding down to 2 minutes left in the first half. Fake to Hurst. Pass to Tom. It's Eric Johnson. Another 49er first down.
Johnson darn near bobbled that thing, didn't he? That was a bootleg pass where you get the back going one way, back going to the left. And most of the time when Jeff Garcia bootlegs, it's going to be to the right side, and Eric Johnson was wide open on it.
Now we have 2 minutes left in the first half. 6-0 Pack. A guy who's taken a lot of hits on passes caught across the middle from Brett Favre, but he is as tough as they come.
Yeah, he says you have to take the good with the bad. He says you're going to get hit anyway, so what's the difference? You might as well catch the ball.
Garcia retreats. Gets Terry Jackson. Jackson out of bounds inside the 15 of Green Bay.
Terry Jackson is a guy that plays halfback, plays fullback. Here you see him in one back. When they go 4 wide receivers, they like Terry Jackson in there. And you see why, because he gets man on man on who? On the middle linebacker, Bernardo Harris. And he's going to win that battle all the time. He starts in the middle, gives him a little juke to the left, then boom, he goes right out to the right, and Garcia hits him.
Green Bay timeout, so they only have 1 left. With 1:52 left in the first half, 6-0 Pack. Closing on the goal line.
There's the Packers' big pass rusher now, Kabir Bajabiamila. It's first down, but they're expecting pass. They're going to rush the passer.
Garcia gives to Hurst, and Hurst is at the 5 and knocked out of bounds.
And you see who he ran right by was Bajabiamila. It was said that they put Bajabiamila in there to rush the passer. Bajabiamila's down here. He starts to rush the passer, and old Garrison Hurst is going to go right by him. So he gets caught on the inside, and Garrison Hurst gets right outside him. That's not a bad time to do that. You know, once...
That's a veteran back like Garrison Hurst. You think he didn't see that?
Right, taking advantage of a young player like Bajabiamila. Secondly, remember, he started out this year in the house on fire.
Oh, boy.
As a sack guy. Green Bay's missed 6 tackles today.
2nd and short at the 5. Garcia. Incomplete. That was Stokes. Looked as if he had it for a moment. Todd McBride with good coverage.
Yeah, Todd McBride is the nickel defensive back. 49ers are using a lot of 3 wide receivers. So that brings some nickel. Todd McBride being the 3rd corner. He comes in there. Garcia is looking in there for Streets, and he got both hands on that ball. He could have caught that thing, huh? Watch it, J.J. Stokes. I mean, he grabbed his jersey right there. But I still think Stokes got both hands on it.
I think he did. 3rd and 2. Garcia rolls right, and he's going to run it. But he's not going to make it. Sharper Now, he might have gotten a first down, however.
I was just going to say, they can make the first down. They didn't need a touchdown.
He did.
It looked like he got beyond the yellow line. See, here they know that they can make a first down. As you said, this is a run all the way. His off guard, Ray Brown, is pulling out in front of him. Darren Sharper is not fooled and makes the tackle, but he makes the tackle after Jeff Garcia made the first down.
So it's first and goal at the Packer 2.
49ers have all 3 timeouts.
Here's Garcia looking and throwing. Incomplete. Owens was the target.
When the official throws his hat down, that meant that someone was out of bounds.
Yep.
My ass up, Bernie.
I think what he's probably saying is that Owens stepped out of bounds before the ball got there.
This is the 15th play of the drive coming up next. Excuse me.
I was just saying, here's Owens here. I bet he stepped out. You see, he's out now. And now he can't come back in and be the first guy to touch the ball.
Second and goal. They get to Hurst. And Hurst is in the end zone. 49er touchdown.
Not a bad play.
Not bad.
I mean, I think everyone was thinking, they were thinking pass, they were thinking rollout, they were thinking bootleg. There was only 15 seconds left to go when the ball was snapped, and they run a trap. And the reason that they could do this, the reason that they could run the ball and run it inside, is because they did have all 3 timeouts. In other words, if Garrison Hurst doesn't get in there, and again, it's where the ball is when his knee hits the ground. But if he doesn't get in there, then they can take the timeout right away.
Cortez for the extra point, which gives the 49ers a 1-point lead, 7-6.
You talk about first and you talk about second effort. Watch Garrison Hurst on this one.
Von Green was for the Packers. Dorsey Levens had been hurt, hadn't completely recovered. They got him from Seattle. Had a reputation as a fumbler. The ball is just banging loose on the ground.
They better get on that ball. I mean, that's the thing. It's not like a punt. That ball is a live ball after it goes 10 yards.
Until somebody downs it.
And if the 49ers are the first ones there, the second ones there, they can't get in there and get the ball, and it would be their ball.
They still have 8 seconds.
Look at the officials. They're digging in there, bending their knees, driving.
Bernie Kukar, emphatic, signaling the other direction.
Steve Mariucci laughing about it. He's asking for something. Bernie Kukar usually is emphatic.
Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have first half analysis, a live interview with Marshall Faulk, and the Fox Sports Ticker will keep you updated with up to the second stats.
I hope they don't.
Coming up at the half.
I'm sorry. I hope they don't ask Marshall Faulk who he'd rather play. That's a question that people and he's never answered. What the heck difference does it make who he wants to play? He's going to play whoever wins this game. He's going to play next week in St. Louis. It doesn't make any difference, and he has no say or what he thinks or whatever. It has nothing to do with it.
That's the end of the first half. With the score of the 49ers 7, the Packers 6. This Fox NFL Wild Card Special will continue from Green Bay after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
He didn't do anything in the second quarter, especially, and the 49ers had the ball over 18 minutes. You look at the passing yards, 102 for the 49ers. Again, only 43 for the Packers, and they only had 33 rushing yards because they only had the ball 18 times. And so part of that is you're making plays offensively like the 49ers did in the second quarter, and then you're going to score, but you're keeping Brett Favre and their offense off the field.
Dorsey Levens dropped it, picked it up, and was knocked down. Let's go down to Ron Pitts, who talked with just during the half.
Coach, you guys seem to have everything well in hand at the beginning of the game. Then it kind of got away from you. The big problem has to be the amount of time Brett Favre has had to be on the sidelines. What adjustments you make at halftime?
Well, we've only had 18 snaps on offense. Part of that is due to offensively not converting on 3rd and 1 and 2. I think we're 3 for 5 on 3rd down, but we missed 2 short yardage situations. If you convert those, you're still on the field and you get opportunities to score. And we've killed ourselves there. We got to fix that at halftime, and we did.
Favre fires to Schrader on his first shot of the second half and completes it for a first down.
You see that quick look there in the eyes of Brett Favre. He looks like a little more determined guy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
I mean, he's always determined, but sometimes you have to put a little sense of urgency in him, and then he really gets going. I don't know if halftime will do that, or maybe it'll come in the 4th quarter, but there's going to be a point in this game when you're going to see a big surge from number 4.
Number 4 doesn't like playing just 6 plays in a quarter. He's going to throw it again. Wings it again to Schrader. Across the 40.
You know, and the point that Mike Sherman was making is in order to get more plays in this, you have to get some first downs, and you can see that. You know, I mean, here's his bunches. I mean, under 10 yards, a couple here at 10 yards. He didn't complete a pass over 10 yards in the first half. He had 1 incomplete and 1 interception over there. Here was that interception, remember, to Ahmed Plummer. And so, you know, everything that he'd completed had been short, and I'm sure that now they want to throw some more on first down and start getting the ball up the field a little more.
Ron Green chased and knocked out of bounds by Schulters. Good play.
You mentioned this, Pat, that, you know, that blocked extra point.
Yep.
It'll sit there all day on you. You know, you look at that, and that 1 point, when that happens in any game of football, that point sits there all the time. There's Jim Mora's son. In fact, I just talked to Jim Mora, his dad, who's right next door to us with his other 2 sons.
3rd and short. Just the things that Sherman was talking about. Favre gets it outside to Henderson. And they move those sticks.
And
Jeff Garcia stopped them.
I was just going to say, I think the thing they probably talked about is you can run, establish a run, and then go to the pass. Or you can pass and establish a pass and then go to the run. They're trying to establish a run that really didn't go in that first half. And now they're trying to establish a pass. There's Jim Mora right here, the father who was just released by the Indianapolis Colts. One of the good guys and good coaches. And his son, Jim Mora, is the defensive coordinator of the 49ers.
Donald Driver starts in motion, starts a reverse, slips past 1 tackler, and here comes Driver.
And who leads on that play?
Brett Favre.
Yeah, remember we saw that play just a couple weeks ago to Donald Driver, the same side. Brett Favre hands off, and then he goes back and leads to the left side. Against Minnesota, he made a big block. This time he misses a block. Watch number 4 out there. See him? He looks like Fuzzy Thurston. He's pulling out there.
Yeah.
He just didn't get him. Lance Schulters jumps over him. I think defensive backs are starting to look for Brett Favre as a blocker in the open field.
2nd and short. Green has the first, breaks a tackle, gets to the 36.
Remember, here's Brett Favre, and right there you see it's Alonzo.
Yeah.
You look up and
that's the wrong guy.
That's 290 pounds. Watch his stiff arm here. Brett Favre is probably the most physical quarterback there is. And here was the block against the Vikings we were talking about that sprung Donald Driver for a touchdown.
Yeah. He was going to throw at somebody. He fakes. And now he's going to throw up the middle. Got a man wide open, Freeman. First down, Green Bay inside the San Francisco 20.
Yeah, and Brett Favre has that look in his eye. He's trying to fire up everyone. See, he bootlegs out here to the right. Then he's going to throw back to Antonio Freeman there. Antonio Freeman started to come inside and knew that there was a soft spot to the outside. Now watch, here's a protection. See, it's bootleg protection. Look at the time that Brett Favre had. And when he has time like that, and with that arm, that ball doesn't stay in the air very long. We're starting to see a Brett Favre trying to get this thing going now, aren't we?
pulled him off sides. Intended for Freeman. He had a free shot.
And that's what he's laughing about. He had his free shot, and he didn't get it. There, he's trying to. You see him blowing in his hands there when you talk to him.
98 defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You talk to him about cold weather. He said the biggest thing is keeping your hands warm.
Yep.
And he's always doing that. You see, he has that muff in front of him that has those hand warmers, and he'll get them in there. But at a point like now, you got to take your hands out of there because you're going to have to get them up under the center and take the ball.
The first San Francisco penalty makes it 1st and 5. Hard looking. Drops it to Freeman. And Freeman fighting for extra yardage. I'm not sure he wasn't down, but it doesn't look like he was.
It doesn't make any difference. The ball wasn't down.
Yep.
That's Antonio Freeman. He's just a tough guy. I mean, here, and he has a great feel for Brett Favre, and Brett Favre has a great feel for him.
Yeah, he did not go down as a result of contact, so that's why he can move on.
Yeah, and a quarterback has to anticipate where a receiver's going to go, because the quarterback doesn't throw it to the receiver. He throws it where the receiver's going.
1st and goal at the 9. Here's Amon Green. Hit at about the 9. Didn't get much.
It was something Mike Sherman said to Ron Pitts there. He said that we didn't convert, and we didn't get first downs, and we only had 18 plays, and he said confidently, he said, and at halftime we fixed it.
We did.
And you can see what the fix is. I mean, they come right out here on this drive with the fix, and I think the fix was start passing more on running downs. At the first half, they only had 76 yards. They almost have that in this drive.
Levens and Green were both in the backfield. Green took it on the numbers and dropped it. Brett Favre, I don't care how long he plays or how old he gets, he's always going to look like a kid.
Yeah, and he's always going to play like a kid, and he's always going to act like a kid. We talked to him Friday after he just got a haircut. He was so proud of his haircut. Look at him looking at the wristband there. Now, they use that because in their terminology, this West Coast offense, they have a lot of verbiage. So to knock down the verbiage, they just give him a number, and then he reads the corresponding number off his wristband.
In that sawed-off shotgun, all kinds of time incomplete for Freeman.
I'll tell you, that was good coverage, because you said he had all kinds of time. Watch the pass protection here. I mean, he can look and look and look and hold it, but the coverage was perfect. Lance Schulters was right there. Schulters almost got his hand on it. Did get his hand on it.
That's just good defense. Ryan Longwell will try to put the Packers back ahead from 26 yards away. Longwell's kick is up and good. Green Bay leads now by 2, 9-7. 8:52 left in the third quarter.
I remember talking to Elijah Pitts, and you were there. We were there in Buffalo when he was coaching the Buffalo Bills, and he was talking about the first time that he ever played for the Packers. His first play was a kickoff return. He was a kickoff return guy, and you were the kicker.
Here goes Vinny Sutherland. Good return flag on the play. I can remember that game well. In Bangor, Maine is where it was.
But he said he was nervous, and then the public address announcer said, and back to receive the kick, Elijah Pitts. And he said he started to shake a little. And he said, kicking off for the New York Giants.
38 of the return team during the run back. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Is it kicking off for the New York Giants? Pat Summerall. Then he said his knees started shaking. He said his arms were shaking, his knees were shaking, and everything was shaking. He could hardly see the ball.
There are football fans and there are Packer fans, and they're different.
and the Packer fans are ready today.
Garcia fumbled the snap from center. And let's go down. In the event, again, you may not know, we were talking about Elijah Pitts. Ron Pitts, his son, is our sideline reporter. So let's go down to Ron right now.
Well, guys, I just talked to Steve Mariucci going off at halftime. He was excited about his defense playing well. You just saw him hold the Packers to 3 points there. But the thing that he was upset about, we can't run the football. He said, we're going to try to keep the mix going, but we're having a lot of trouble. He said, Jeff Garcia is making great decisions, and we're killing him underneath. He said, we're going to continue with our tight end and working underneath. Pat?
All right, Ron, second and long. They're showing blitz, and they back out of it. Hurst wrapped up after a couple of yards by Santana Dotson.
Now, Steve Mariucci really likes balance. That's one of the things that he's trying to do with the offense is get that balance of run and pass. And sometimes I think they may have to do what the Green Bay Packers just did, is get a little fired up, a little more urgency, and start throwing a little more on first down to open up some more seams for that running game, because this front is playing awfully tight on running downs.
Here comes the blitz. It was Sharper. Garcia, as only he can do, got it out.
Yeah, but that was all about Garrison Hurst there. Garrison Hurst is right here. Now watch him come across and pick up the blitz. Here comes Sharper. He is free, and he just stopped Darren Sharper. Boom, right there, right now. And then Jeff Garcia can get that ball out there. But that's why Garrison Hurst is in there. This is what it's all about. If he doesn't get that, Jeff Garcia takes a helmet right in the back.
And that's why Garrison Hurst is the comeback player of the year in the NFL. Not just running.
And that's one of the things he enjoys most.
That's Streets. Ty Streets, and a flag on the play.
You just need a play every now and then to get you started. And I think that blitz pickup and that throw to Terrell Owens could have been the play that gets the 49ers started this second half.
This is against the
5-yard face mask penalty, 71 defense. That results in a first down.
Santana Dotson is 71.
And there he is right there. See his left hand?
Got him. And let him go.
Got him, pulled it right off. So that's the difference between the 5 and the 15. These two teams really are mirror images, aren't they? I mean, of course, Steve Mariucci was here at Green Bay. Coach Brett Favre worked for Mike Holmgren. Mike Sherman worked for Mike Holmgren.
Garcia back to throw, chased by Dotson, throws upfield. Incomplete. Intended for Owens. It was knocked loose. Billy Jenkins hit him.
Yeah, that was a big play by Billy Jenkins, because this is a complete pass. And Jenkins hits him just as the ball gets there. Watch, the ball gets there, and he goes to bring it down, and Billy Jenkins just unloads on him.
And knocked it loose.
That's the way you can do it. You can get there before, or you can get there after. And if you get there after, you better do this.
2nd and 10.
Terrell Owens usually holds on to those things.
That was a good hit.
Strong.
That was a good hit. Garcia back to throw again. Screen pass. Hurst drops it.
Kind of 2 drops in a row there.
Yep.
Terrell Owens was knocked out of his, and Garrison Hurst just dropped that. And that's one thing, it's kind of funny for a running back is you have to tighten up, to run the ball inside, and you have to tighten up to block, to pass protect, and then to catch a ball you have to loosen up.
Yep.
And sometimes you're in your tighten up mode, and the ball comes to you, and you bat it down like you just batted a blitz down.
3rd and 10. Garcia gets it up the middle of Hurst. Hurst will not get the first down. Chased down by Ron Holmberg. And the 49ers will have to punt it.
Steve Mariucci's whole family is here. He's from Iron Mountain, Michigan, which is only about 100 miles from here. And He grew up as a Green Bay Packer fan. His whole family are Packer fans. And look at that. Good luck, Coach Mariucci from Iron Mountain High School. But the whole group is here. His mom, his dad, his sisters, the whole thing.
Jason Baker. High hanging punt. Rossum signals fair catch and makes it. Belly first. Green Bay's population is around 50,000 people, and this stadium seats over 65. You wonder where they are? All footprints lead to Lambeau Field, and that's where they are. 9-7, Green Bay over San Francisco. Green Bay ball. Favre back to throw it again. Stands in for all kind of time. He gets Henderson to the 30. Fox Tuesday, critics across the country have spoken, voting 24 the best show on television. Don't miss a second of the most talked about show this season. A new episode of 24 coming at you this Tuesday at 9/8 Central right here on Fox. Some people, well, they're not downtown. They are at Lambeau, or at least in the area.
They're still in the parking lot. Some people just come to the parking lot for the tailgating. They don't even come into the stadium.
And off to Green. Not much there, if anything.
You know, one thing, I think Brett Favre can probably throw as much as he wants to, because the 49ers are playing pretty well on the, against the run. They're getting the penetration. They're playing on the Packer line of scrimmage, but they're not getting a pass rush.
No.
I think that's a big thing. If you give Brett Favre time, like this 49er defense is giving him time, he's going to eat you up.
The sawed-off shotgun alignment. Going for the baggage. And caught by Bradford.
Yeah, that was one of the things that the Packers said that they wanted to do. They said they just wanted to throw one up in the air and see if Webster would misjudge it over here. Here's Corey Bradford here, and just let Webster run with him. He said because so much of the time he'll be there and misjudge the ball when it's in the air. They said we'd like to do this 2 or 3 times. Just throw one up on our left side, and that time they did it. They just threw it up to Corey Bradford. He said, look, hey, I told you we could do that.
1st and 10, Green Bay. Amon Green, the deep back. Favre stands in and throws. Touchdown, Bubba Franks.
That's why Brett Favre is fun to watch. He comes here in the first half, there's not a whole heck of a lot. He throws one up to Corey Bradford, says, come on, let's go, let's do it again. Gets another one, throws a touchdown to Bubba Franks. 2 plays, he goes for about 60 yards, and now they're going to go for 2.
Now they're going for 2, is correct.
Yeah, because of that blocked extra point early. Yep. This is the way you make up for it.
They are 1 out of 2. The 49ers have allowed 4 out of 6 to be successful against them.
You know, Aaron Brooks was telling us when he was with the Packers, they used to have a drill where they used to just try and drop the ball in a bucket. He said Brett Favre was very good at it. That's what he did to Corey Bradford. That one there was a touchdown to Bubba Franks.
Going for 2 points. Favre did not get the 2. He completes it to Donald Driver.
Look at this. In the first half, they had some pressure on Brett Favre. In the second half, they have had no pressure on Brett Favre.
Green Bay leads 15-7. Here's in the 49ers, and Green Bay leading at 15-7. About to kick off is Ryan Longwell. Benny Sutherland back, fields it at the 6. Out of bounds at about just inside the 30. 15-7, 3:18 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
thank our NFL fans for the support that they gave us this year. A special thanks to the men and women of our military who supported our country this season. We wish you well and thank you.
Commissioner Paul Tagliabue is here. Game right there.
Sitting with the Packer executives today.
Good to see him, and then I'm sure that he's proud of the way the football's being played.
And I beg your pardon, that is J.J. Stokes. The way he fought for those yardage looked like
Jeff Garcia looked like he had a hunk of the tundra in his face mask.
Sharper on the blitz again.
Yep, and this time he wasn't picked up, and he gets Jeff Garcia in the back. And then Cledius Hunt, you see what happened? He stepped on him as he's going down. Watch this, he goes down. Now watch Cledius Hunt will come in. Doink, right there with the old, gave him the old Brogan to the head.
That's especially effective in cold weather.
The Brogan to the head?
Yeah. This is Barlow. Kevin Barlow breaks the tackle and gets down across.
But Jeff Garcia is a tough guy. You know, remember he had a bad knee and he had a big old brace on it, tendonitis in his right elbow, and then he had broken ribs on his right side and had to take shots to play, and he played through everything. And I think I have as much admiration for this guy as anyone that plays. I mean, and he's earned it.
You see him, talk to him. He doesn't look like or act like he should be playing this game. Garcia drops it to Barlow. That might have been a 2-yard pass. Maybe not that long.
Well, he had 2 receivers out there, and he went for the short one. Look at this. This is one of the problems is the rushing yardage for the 49ers. They average 140, which was second in the NFL, first in the NFC. Today they only have 55, and that's the 2 problems I see with them offensively is, 1, they're not getting the ball down to Terrell Owens, and 2, they're not able to run the ball.
They've done a great job on Owens, no question about it. 3rd and 4. Garcia, incomplete, intended for Eric Johnson. No flag. And here comes the punting unit.
See, Rob Holmberg.
Hit him on the head.
Rob Holmberg was the guy.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about guys that have just been there a few weeks. The Packers just signed him a few weeks, and now they got him out in coverage in the tight end.
Yeah.
Allen Rossum, they just got back this week. He'd had the knee surgery about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He had a scope done.
Had that good return earlier. This one's hanging high, and he signals fair catch at the 10. Next weekend, the NFL postseason continues on Fox with the NFC Divisional Playoff. First on Saturday, the Chicago Bears battle the Eagles, and then on Sunday, the winner of this game will try to slow down the Rams in St. Louis. The NFC playoffs continue beginning Saturday and Sunday at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, only on Fox.
You know, and you look at this game, the winner of this game is going to go and play the Rams next week in St. Louis, and the loser, their season's over. So we're getting down to just about 1 more quarter of football for one team.
On Green, the ball carrier, very little. They've held him in check.
And this is where I think those words like urgency, intensity, or whatever those words, they have to come up now, because the team that can get that is going to win this game. I mean, this game is still up in the air to be won or lost.
Less than a minute in the 3rd quarter, and Green Bay leading 15-7.
And you know that Brett Favre still has some 4th quarter heroics in him. And Steve Mariucci knows that as well as anyone, because as we said earlier, he was his quarterback coach.
Favre drops.
No!
Pass is juggled and dropped. Did he have it? I'm not sure. Blown dead
And the official was there blowing incomplete. Yep. He was waving his arm, so he's saying that the ball was incomplete.
The pass was ruled incomplete. Incomplete.
Juggled on the way down, and he never got possession. Bubba Franks.
But that was a heck of a throw, though.
Yep.
I hear Steve Mariucci saying, "Can I challenge that call?" He wants it. I can hear him asking if he can challenge it. I think he can challenge that call. Then he said, "Did you hear him?"
Yeah.
He said, "Challenge it, challenge it."
If he does, and it's worth a challenge, but I think he's going to lose, don't you?
Yeah. What the rule is you have to have control of the ball and both feet down. Yeah, he can challenge that.
He's saying, "You think so? You think so?"
What Steve is saying, he's saying that the ball was caught and fumbled. The official made the ruling that the ball was never caught.
Definitely fumbled. He caught it and definitely fumbled. He just said I'm talking to me.
Steve is saying it's a fumble.
The incomplete part you cannot review.
Yeah, that's like down by contact. You can't review it.
That's what he doesn't quite buy.
We heard what he thought about the rule.
Yep.
Pass was ruled incomplete. San Francisco would not get the ball, so therefore there is no challenge. Third down.
Bernie Kukar is very succinct in his announcements, and I like that.
But I still don't know that that wasn't a fumble, though.
I'm not sure either, John.
I mean, it's not reviewable because they said it's an incomplete pass. Then if they rule it's an incomplete pass, then it can't be a fumble.
I don't think he ever had possession, though. It's 3rd and 10. Favre looking upfield. Again, all kinds of time, and he's going to take off. Faked it, and then wisely chose to dive.
Yeah, well, he had to. I mean, it was 3rd down. He didn't want to run with that ball.
No.
He wanted to throw it. Then when he got to the line of scrimmage, then he just had to go down because he wasn't going to get a first down. But now the 49ers are going to get the ball back, and they're going to have good field position.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter, however, with the score, the Packers 15, the 49ers 7. This Fox NFL Wildcard Special from Green Bay. Pat Summerall, John Madden back at Lambeau Field, where Green Bay leads San Francisco 15-7. The Packers about to punt. Josh Bidwell to Benny Sutherland. Off the side of his foot. Very short kick, takes a Packer bounce, however, and rolls across the 49er 40 to about the 39-yard line, where San Francisco has their offense start to action. 15-7. One more quarter. The winner of this game to play the St. Louis Rams in St. Louis next week. 1st and 10, 49ers. Garcia drops it over to J.J. Stokes, and Stokes gets a 49er first down, crosses into Green Bay territory, stopped by Billy Jenkins.
Yeah, the 49ers do an interesting thing. They bring a couple of crosses across here. You see it, then they have them layered. You see layered here, and now he can take the short guy or the deep guy. So they bring a short, a medium, and then they have a deep guy coming across.
Almost everything they do has some sort of an option.
And that goes all the way back to the West Coast offense and to Bill Walsh and things that he used to do.
Garcia drops.
Good.
Screen pass coming. Hurst down the sideline to the 30. Out of bounds at the 27. Billy Jenkins finally.
Great block by Ray Brown.
Yep.
Pat, his left guard out there, his 16-year veteran. Watch number 65 come out here. He's going to come right down the line of scrimmage, and he's going to make the hit right here. He's going to make the block right there, and that's the one that frees Garrison Hurst to pick up about 15 more yards.
Brown's block on Bernardo Harris. 22-yard pickup. First down, San Francisco at the Green Bay 27.
Ray Brown in the Pro Bowl this year for the first time, and I think everyone was happier for him than he was himself.
Hurst again. Another 49er first down to the 15 or just shy of it.
Good block by Fred Beasley that time. And we talk about Beasley, and you're going to see him here. We know that he has the cast on his leg, but he has to make that block. See him coming right there. He makes that block, and then Garrison Hurst cuts right off it.
I hope that cast is on his arm, not his leg.
See it right there?
Yep.
Cast on his right arm. That'd be hard to play with one on your leg.
Here's Garcia. Rolls right and throws to Owens, incomplete. McKenzie knocked it away at the last second. Owens had appeared to be open.
Mike McKenzie's really come into his own. Yep. He's in his third year now, and you're going to see here, and Owens has a step on him. The ball should be thrown out this way a little more out in front of him. Had that ball been thrown, because Owens has a little room to come this way. It's a little behind him, and it lets McKenzie catch up with it. Jeff Garcia knows it. I had him because he did have his man. Terrell Owens had his man.
2nd and 10. Garcia to Hurst. And they had it read pretty well.
And they've had it read pretty well the whole game. And again, it's this guy here is a big part of it. Not the whole, but a big part of it. Gilbert Brown, when he's just in there, I mean, he's just such a big factor. I mean, he's just such a big load that he can take on 2 blocks and get around the block and then free the linebacker. As Wayne came in to make that play.
3rd down and 8, and a big one.
And they're only 5 out of 11 on 3rd down so far, the 49ers.
Here's Garcia retreating. Blitz is on. Touchdown in the end zone to Ty Streets. Great throw by Garcia, and the pressure was breathing right on him.
And the 49ers will be going for 2, but didn't Jeff Garcia look like Brett Favre there?
He sure did.
Watch him. He's going to throw the ball. Well, we don't see it there. There's Ty Streets. He's running the post pattern, but Jeff Garcia threw that one as he was going backward. And he still got enough on it. Look, a perfect spiral, and he threw that ball in the perfect spot.
And now they're going for 2 to tie it up. It's 15-13. 12 minutes left. Garcia back to throw it. Lofts it in the corner. There's nobody out there. Nobody covered Ty Streets. I mean, nobody was even close.
And the big thing is when that happens, the quarterback has to feel it and see it and have time to get out there. And he did. And they see how Ty Streets got so open. Here he is. J.J. Stokes is going to come in here. Both of these defensive backs go with J.J. Stokes, and Ty Streets comes up here, and he's wide open. Watch him, you see here. Now watch right here at this point here. They both go with J.J. Stokes, and there's none left for Ty Streets. That was a missed coverage of the Green Bay Packers, but that was big on Jeff Garcia to see it.
This is Dorsey Levens. Returns it outside the 20. The ball's loose. The ball's loose. The ball came popping loose.
Yeah, but when the official starts pointing to the ground, he means down by contact, and that's another one of those that's not reviewable.
15-15. And we're rolling at Lambeau. It's a 15-15 tie with 11:48 left to play. Favre lofts it out to William Henderson, and the 49ers converge quickly.
You look at some of the plays that got us to this score, Pat. The blocked extra point, and then so the Packers had to make up for it. They went for 2 and didn't make it. Now the 49ers were down by 2. They needed it. They went for 2. They just ended up that one to tie Street. So
remember a few years ago, and there's a lot of discussion about let's do away with the extra point.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, then you're changing football.
Yeah.
There's no way that should ever be done.
Well, it always comes back, and it has in the Packers.
Yeah, there's nothing automatic. I learned that from you a long time ago. There's no such thing as a chip shot.
Favre throwing for Schrader, who can't make the catch. Plummer right back with him. Met Plummer, who'd been out a couple of weeks.
Yeah, Plummer's playing over on this side now, and they think that they could do that on Webster. Not as easy on Plummer. There's the pressure right now on Brett Favre. You see Dana Stubblefield there. But Brett Favre throws well when he's going backwards. He said most of his passes are backwards. He said the other day in practice, he said I threw one. He said I stepped forward, stepped no. He said I tripped, fell down, and then I broke my ankle.
3rd and 8. Look for number 86 from Favre.
Well, he has 5 receivers on the line of scrimmage.
And the pass is caught. What a catch by Driver. Donald Driver leaped high and pulled it down.
And Donald Driver can leap high. He was a high jumper. In fact, they thought that he may be an Olympic high jumper. And watch him go up in the air. Now, going up in the air is one thing, but going up in the air, catching the ball, and coming down and keeping control of it is another thing for a big first down.
That's pretty good. 14-yard pickup.
Not much to Donald Driver. 6 foot, and I think they're stretching 185.
A lot of leapability. There's number 86. That's Antonio Freeman. That was a heck of a catch by Driver.
One of the things that Steve Mariucci was saying yesterday is he said he could see this coming right down to the 4th quarter, and he said, I hope in the 4th quarter we have a little pad, because I've seen things that Brett Favre could do in the 4th quarter in Lambeau way too many times.
Well, he's never lost, for one thing, in a playoff game.
No one has ever lost in a playoff game here.
On Green. Green explodes into 49er territory to the 41-yard line.
And that's the thing that he does so well, is explode. You see him, he's back here. He's just one back. They use zone blocking. He gets a lead by Henderson, leaves the lead, cuts back, and then cuts back again. You see how he finishes his run? He always gets his shoulders down, keeps his legs driving.
What a block by Henderson.
That's what Henderson's in there for. We got 2 of the better blocking fullbacks in all of football, in Beasley and Henderson in this game today.
1st and 10. Freeman in motion. Freeman makes the catch, gets inside the 49er 30 to about the 28. 1st down.
You see, now this is what a game is supposed to be. I mean, it's a game, and it's supposed to be fun, and it's fun. You have to have some laughs, and I mean, there's a lot at stake here, but still, Brett Favre goes out and plays it like he's a little kid. Remember when Brett Favre was always throw the ball too hard and fire it in there and not let his guys catch it or bounce off their head? He's really, over the years, has really developed a touch.
He has matured, as they say. 1st and 10. Niners showing pressure. Favre is taken down. The pressure worked.
Yeah, the pressure worked, and he tried to see. He gave him a little hard count because he said he likes to do that to see where the pressure's coming from. You see, and he saw where the pressure was coming from, up the middle and from the outside, and his blockers didn't handle it all.
Had more people coming than they had blockers to account for him.
Well, Amon Green missed too.
Julian Peterson.
Amon Green threw a whiffer up there.
Yep. That is the toughest thing for a young running back to learn. Blitz pickup.
That's why some of the best backs are the best blitz pickuppers.
This time steps up and throws across his body. That's Tyrone Davis.
Oh, they were still playing. If the whistle blows, anything that happens after the whistle blows doesn't count. I mean, that was like that fumble earlier. Once they say incomplete pass or the whistle blows, then anything that happens, nothing can be done after that. But you know, the best blocking blitz pickup back of all time, I think, was Walter Payton. I don't think the second guy is close.
Yep. I don't even think it's close. Emmitt Smith has always been very good.
But he never blocked like Walter did. Rashad Holman is in there for Jason Webster now.
Favre. Caught by Bubba Franks. Incomplete, I beg your pardon. He came up with the ball in a hurry, and the officials quickly ruled it incomplete.
And that was third down, so it's not a first down, so the Packers are going to have to attempt a field goal here.
Ryan Longwell comes on.
And that ball hit the ground. You saw it bounce right into him.
Yep.
Rashad Holman was there in pretty good position, but that ball hits the ground. You see it right in front of Bubba Franks.
He got the good short hop from 45 yards out. Longwell. That's going to be good. 18-15. Green Bay has the lead with 7 minutes, 2 seconds left. February 3rd, starting at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific.
I think that guy we just saw right there, Pat's the captain.
You mean Brett Favre?
Yeah, Brett Favre, yeah.
Sutherland on the return. Hit down hard.
Any Sutherland always gets hit down hard because he runs, he just runs like a runaway truck or something in there. Doesn't always make a lot of yardage. In fact, Steve Mariucci was saying, I wish he had a few more moves in him. He was running right into it. This is what it's all about, and the fans know this. 18-15, last quarter, 6 minutes, 53 seconds. They need a win here to keep playing and go to St. Louis and play the Rams.
One of them won't play anymore. One of them will next week in St. Louis. Garcia fakes. The pass is caught on the sideline by J.J. Stokes.
This was the thing that the 49ers were trying to get is go 3 wide receivers and have the Packers not use their nickel defense, use base, and then throw the ball. The Packers stayed in their base defense. They came on a bootleg, and they got the completion. This is a big part of the 49er game plan for today.
Second and short. Green Bay leads by 3. Second and 1. Hurst will have the first down. Diggs brought him down.
Yeah, you look now, Pat. I was just thinking with the 49ers down 3 points, that was a big blocked field goal right there.
Clock still running. Looking at those pictures of each other's defense, offense, as the case might be.
Ed Beasley will probably go in there anytime they want to run like he was on the last down, and passing downs not be in there.
They bring the blitz. They get the ball to Streets. Garcia finds Ty Streets, who's had a hot day.
Isn't it something? And maybe that's why. You know, you think it's going to be Garcia to Terrell Owens, and it's been Garcia to Ty Streets, and probably because again they get a mismatch. If they stay in base, they're going to get a mismatch someplace. And they got the mismatch right there on Ty Streets.
Ronnie
Holiday was the closest guy to him, and Ronnie Holiday is going to have a tough time taking away the end.
Here's Garcia looking to Owens, dropped away and batted away and intercepted by Tyrone Williams. McKenzie hit it. Knocked it up in the air, and Williams came down with it.
That's McKenzie's number 34 here. That ball hung in the air a little too long. Owens had a step again. Garcia didn't get it out to him. McKenzie got his right hand up, and he batted it right into Tyrone Williams' hand. That is a big, big play for this Packer defense.
Is it ever?
It's thrown a little short. Had he gotten that ball out there a little more, Terrell Owens had some.
Jeff Garcia's first interception in 148 passes. Green Bay ball at their own 7.
And that play was Mike McKenzie's play. And Mike, that was a big, big play for Mike McKenzie.
Green. Face mask violation at the end of the good run by Green.
This is what the Packers have done in this second half. They come out and establish the pass in order to run. The thing I've always liked about Bernie Kukar, though, as a referee, always seems under control. And like some referees in situations, you feel the game gets out of control.
Grabbing and pulling on the face mask. Number 31 defense.
There's the face
15
mask
yards from the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, and the 15 yards, that was Zach Bronson, and you see, again, he got the hand on there and held on, and Jerk didn't bring it off. Jeff Garcia had one there. I think he had Terrell Owens and threw it a little short, but it was still a great play by Mike McKenzie.
Just batted it in the air to his teammate. 49ers showing blitz coming off the corner. Favre drops the throw. Corey Bradford catch. One-handed juggle, and he came down with it.
Corey Bradford, one of the things that the Packers worried about Corey Bradford is his inconsistency. But he's been pretty consistent in this game. Remember that big up that he got in the left side that got him going? And here the one-handed catch. You know what the Green Bay Packers have done very well in the second half is pass protect. I mean, Brett Favre has had a lot of times, in most cases, to throw the ball.
Double tight.
Second down. Gibbs to Green. He is thrown for a loss of about 3. Never had a chance.
That was a big play for the 49er defense. Now they need another stop here on 3rd down, and they're going to have plenty of time because they have all 3 of their timeouts. They have the 2-minute warning, so there's still a lot of football left to be played here. There's a big down on both sides. Jim Moore, the defensive coordinator of the 49ers. And of course, the Packers needing the first down. The 49ers having to stop from getting the first down.
They need 7 for the first. Favre to throw. They pick up the blitz. Favre has Freeman. And Freeman to the 49er 25-yard line.
Boy, he zipped that thing in there. I tell you, you talk about touch pass. He didn't put any touch on that. He put all the mustard on the brat. And Antonio Freeman is used to catching those. I saw him throw one like this in practice the other day. Whistled by me. I'd never heard a pass with that much velocity on it. Antonio Freeman started to celebrate a little too early. He's been around too long. Let's watch that velocity at normal speed. That is throwing a football. And Antonio Freeman is too much of a veteran to have that ball hanging out there like that.
That's correct. Here is Amon Green tripped up at the line of scrimmage by Julian Peterson.
The reason that 3rd down was such a big play because it changed field position and gave the Packers a whole new set of downs.
Clock stopped with 2:23 left. San Francisco timeout. Favre really hummed it.
He put everything he had into that one. Like Sherman said, he's throwing the ball as hard now as he ever has in his life.
Amon Green nears the 20.
Here's where Amon Green gets you. You know, they just keep wearing you down, and they couldn't get anything going in the first half, and then in the second half they got their passing going, the Packers did, and that kind of loosened up this 49er defense.
Another 49er timeout. Fox tonight kicks off with a 1-hour Simpsons special event. Then if you like your games intense, wait till you catch the sneak preview of Fox's newest series, The Chamber. All followed by an all-new episode of The X-Files. All starts tonight at 7, 6 Central, only on Fox. Hey.
They even
Thank you.
all new X-Files tonight.
I didn't have to read that. I didn't have to read that.
No, if you knew that guy was coming and going to bring his sign, no one told you that. Hey, you're talking about the Green Bay offensive line. The Packers have thrown 21 passes in this second half, and Favre has only been sacked once and hurried 3 times. So they have kind of taken control in the passing game.
Favre pumps right. Now he's going to look, and now he throws pass complete. That's Brett Favre.
Look at him. Somebody said, this is what it's all about. This is going to take us to the next step. This is going to get us to St. Louis.
That was Donald Driver. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left.
Brett Favre in the second half is 16 out of 21 for 226 yards.
He'll never make a better throw than he just made. Come on, Green. Touchdown.
To be denied. And the Packers are one of those not to be denied this second half. Watch the one that set it up, though, Pat. Here's where Brett Favre goes, pumps left, pumps right, scrambles right, buys the time, and hits Donald Driver. That was Brett Favre, got him there, and then Amon Green, he is going to finish it off right here. Good start of the block. And look at him as he gets close, how he just puts his shoulders down. This is going to be challenged.
Whether that ball crossed the goal line for a touchdown.
Now this is a booth challenge. It's in the last 2 minutes. The coaches can't challenge. So are they saying did the ball break the plane before his knee was down?
So it's challenged from upstairs.
Now these fans for the last 2 minutes have been chanting MVP here.
For whom?
For Brett Favre. For whom the bell tolls. They're looking to see if his knee was down.
No. His shoulders might have been down.
It can be a shoulder. It can be any body part. It can be a shoulder, an elbow, a knee. I mean, all those things equal 1 foot. So it could be. We had a game a couple weeks ago where the guy's elbow was down.
You forget how strong this guy is. They hit him first at the 5-yard line.
Well, and that's the thing that he has is, you know, we call that YAC, Y-A-C, yards after contact. And I think he leads the league in YAC yards.
If he doesn't, he's close.
But now the thing they have to be looking at here is, did his shoulder hit before the ball broke the plane?
Again, this is an official review.
Brett, look. Here's his head, and in fact, his head could be the first thing that hits the ground. So now, where is the ball when his head hits the ground? That's what they have to be looking at right now.
There's the first contact.
Yeah. I mean, he's just so powerful. His legs are so powerful. Now, as we look, when his head hits the ground, here's the ball here. He always keeps the ball in his left hand. So now, did the ball break the plane before his head hit the ground? We're just talking about an inch or two if it didn't. And remember, that was a first down play. On Green looks like, well, I'd either done it or not. You know, and 41 of his yards have been after contact.
I'm not so sure. That bring on the Rams sign. They've had a rest, and
you know, they'd like to bring on the Rams to here.
Yeah, if they could get them here.
After reviewing the play, there is not enough visual evidence to change the call. It is a touchdown.
Yeah, Mon Green looked like he believed it was a touchdown anyway, because if he didn't, he would have had to been up and gotten a huddle and do it again.
Yep. Longwell for the extra point. The Packers have 24 points now, and they have not yet kicked an extra point.
Well, that's going to change right here.
Yep.
There's a chip shot, automatic.
No. So with 1:55 left, 49ers have got to go to work. In 3 weeks, television's biggest day kicks off on Fox, beginning with the star-studded Super Bowl pregame spectacular, featuring live performances by No Doubt, Paul McCartney, Mark Anthony, with Mary J. Blige, Bare Naked Ladies, and a very special tribute to America featuring the Boston Pops. It all starts at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific, with the 19th annual blockbuster All Madden team, that prestigious team. Did you ever think it would be prestigious?
No.
When you started that?
You see that guy sitting on the bench there with Brett Favre, was his old friend Frankie Winters, old bag of donuts. That's kind of an All Madden thing. We get winners and losers, and that's what playoffs are all about. You know, the happiness of the winners because they know they get to keep playing, and then the loser and to me, there's no higher than winning a playoff game, and there's no lower than losing a playoff game.
Here comes Finney Sutherland. Beg your pardon, Paul Smith. The ball's loose, and the Packers have it. And Lewis.
Corey Bradford has made some big plays today.
Yeah, so has Donald Driver.
Yep, and Brett Favre likes those two guys because they can both run. Corey Bradford got him outside. Cledius Hunt telling us, okay, we're ready to go to St. Louis. Wall Smith on the return. You see Corey Bradford just pulled it right out of his hands and then jumped on it.
And so Green Bay. Are they happy?
Yeah, he got that big recovery. He had 2 catches today for 56 yards.
Mon Green down to the 20.
Mons Green still getting yak. Corey Bradford said, I'll show you some consistency.
Dana Stubblefield slowly getting to his feet.
Well, this will be the last game played in this stadium, won't it? Next year they have going to have a new stadium or
they're not moving.
No, it's a retrofit.
They're not moving the stadium. They're just building around it and up and more seats.
One thing you better do right now is get Mon Green out of there, because you have the game, and the thing you don't want to do now is you're this close to it. You're going to play the Rams a week from today in St. Louis, and you don't want to get anyone hurt from this point on.
Especially that pony right there.
And I think that's what William Henderson is saying. He was saying, get him out of here, take him out. And they are, because that's not a good look when a guy kind of skipping like that.
Today's game is being produced by Bob Center, directed by Sandy Grossman. Tape producers Mike Frank. The associate director is Mike Roy. The broadcast associates are Charles McDonald, Kerry Klosser, and Wayne Wilson. The technical producer is Bob Muller. The pregame show is produced by Scott Atkinson, directed by Bob Levy. Rumbling down is William Henderson. The senior producer is Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. The home of champions.
Well, next week we're going to have a good one. We go in with these Green Bay Packers to the Rams, and that's going to be something special. Look at this. He's led the Packers to 23 wins after trailing or tied in the 4th quarter. That's a definition of Brett Favre. Yeah. That's what he is and who he is.
going to kneel. The tradition lives.
They've never lost a playoff game in Green Bay. And then here are some of them. Here are some of the guys. You know, a big part of that, of those playoff wins here in Green Bay have been two quarterbacks, though, Bart Starr and Brett Favre. Although that one that we just saw was Lynn Dickey.
Yep. The last game I played ever was a playoff game at this stadium, which we lost to Bart Starr.
Steve Mariucci and Brett Favre still very close. This has to be a tough one for Steve Mariucci. Did a heck of a job with this team and these players, 12-4, getting to this position. But today, or the second half of today, was Green Bay Packers Day.
Let's go down to Ron Pitts.
All right, guys, I have Ahman Green here, 86 yards rushing. Ahman, they kept you guys quiet in the first half. In fact, you guys only had 18 plays, but then you kicked it up and got it going.
Yeah, we figured, you know, we went over what we wasn't doing and why they were stopping us and corrected the mistakes. And basically just buckled it down because we, you know, come second half, it's not a round robin tournament. It's not 2 wins. You know, you get a loss, you're still in it. No, it's one loss and you're out. So we had to come up and turn up another notch.
You guys are headed to St. Louis. Give me your thoughts on facing the Rams.
Hey, we just got to get ready because that's, you know, they ain't the greatest show on earth for no reason. You know, they got fast, tremendous speed on offense and a great defense. So we got to, you know, practice hard all week and prepare well for them.
And then you got a chance to watch this guy here, your favorite guy, Walter Payton, the tape before the game, didn't you?
Every week, you know, every week. It doesn't change.
All right, good luck to you next week. Pat Summerall, back up to you.
All right, Rod, we'll be back here at Lambeau where the Packers beat the 49ers 25-15. They win by 10. They go to St. Louis.